Hey everybody, welcome back to DCU Football 101. I'm your host Lucas. This is of course a part of 14 Rings and NFC East podcast. We are doing our game preview of the Washington Commanders rematch against the Chicago Bears. This is of course is 1 year almost to the week. We did this in week 8 last year. We're doing this in week 6 this year of the Washington Commanders' epic comeback victory against the Bears, where they were able to win on a Hail Mary from Jayden Daniels to Noah Brown. That being said, we can't dwell on the past, but we know Chicago is. But that's okay. We got a new season here, new stuff going on. We won that game 18-15, but this year's going to be different, okay? There's a lot of things to keep in mind here. So let me just get through this real quick, okay? So first off, in terms of our depth and stats, it's a different year. Marcus Mariota's already started 2 games, so Jayden Daniels had a little bit of a slow start, though. Last week against the Los Angeles Chargers, he did pretty good. We saw the Jayden Daniels that we saw last year, right? So he looked pretty good. On the season, Jayden Daniels has 664 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. By the way, he and only Justin Fields are the only quarterbacks in the NFL, starting quarterbacks in the NFL, with 0 interceptions. So kudos to Jayden, absolutely. That being said, our running game is starting to come alive. We're one of the top 5 running attacks in the offense in the NFL currently this season. I believe, if I pull up the stats here, we are currently, in terms of rushing yards per game, we are number 1 in rushing yards per game. So, with 165. Now, 156. And some of that's Jayden, but most of that is the three-headed running attack of Ja'Cory Crosby-Merritt, a.k.a. Bill, Jeremy McNichols, and Chris Rodriguez, though Crosby-Merritt has really taken the lead recently, and I don't expect him to let it go. He is becoming a 3-down back, though. He still needs to work a little bit on his pass protection and making sure that he doesn't fumble the ball, because he had his first fumble last week. Let's just make sure that does not become a trend for the rookie running back. But overall, our passing attack needs to get a little bit better. In terms of passing yards per game, we're towards the bottom. I'm not going to lie, guys. We're under 200 passing yards per game, and Jayden needs to improve. He's starting to do that now. But Cliff really needs to break open the playbook. But partially, this is still Terry McLaurin, who, by the way, let's get to the injury report here. Terry has been in no practice so far Thursday, Friday. His status for Saturday has not been posted yet because I'm recording this Saturday morning. This will also be out Saturday morning, but no Terry, no C-Rod so far this week with quad and calf injuries respectively. Debo was limited on Friday with his heel injury. John Bates had full practice after being limited on Thursday. Noah Brown is still limited, but he is apparently making good progress from what I've heard. Sam Cosmi's a fool. We don't know if he'll play. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. I think all indications is he's waiting to get fully good for the Dallas game. But we'll see. If he comes out, that would be great. Jayden was a full practice with the knee. No word on whether or not he'll wear the knee brace. Not to my knowledge anyway. But who knows? That could change, right? But just, going back to the passing game here, a big part of this is Terry not being a part of the game. But look, Luke McCaffrey is starting to make a real difference. That 50-yard bomb that he caught last game, Jayden needs to start trusting him more. He's only been getting 2 or 3 targets per game. It needs to go up a little bit more so that we don't have to rely solely on Debo. But Jayden is doing a good job spreading the wealth, but Luke needs to get more involved in the passing game. I'm going to say it now. He's that good. He's really starting to make a stride here. So defensively, we're doing okay. We're middle of the pack. Well, actually, no, we're towards the bottom. I'm not going to lie. We're towards the bottom. But passing yards per game, we are a little bit better than towards the bottom, but it's still not good. And then rushing yards per game that we give up in defense we're in the middle of the pack there, which is better than last year, but still it needs to be better, right? So, but the good news is special teams were still dominating, especially in kickoff returns. Punt returns were still in the top 10 as well. So we're doing good, guys. We're doing good on special teams. But in terms of look, Caleb Williams does look better, but I still think there's a way to rattle him. he's improved, but he still hasn't fully developed into the quarterback he needs to be here. So I'm going to need another great game from Kinlaw and Payne, just disrupting the middle of the passing lanes. And then, of course, our edges. Dorrance Armstrong I think he already has like 5 sacks this season, which is great. I need a little bit more from Von Miller and Bobby Wagner in terms of sacks, but Bobby's doing what he needs to do in terms of tackles. Frankie Luvu, keep on doing what you did last week. That's what we need. Last week is what we needed. We need another performance from the defensive side from last week. If that means that we get more juice from Jaden, then absolutely. If Jaden can inspire the defense like he did last week. And then just getting turnovers, guys. That's how our defense succeeds. If we can force turnovers, another fumble, another interception will be great. Look, this is not a world beater offense. It is a good offensive game plan ran by Ben Johnson, the new head coach of the Bears. But look, DeAndre Swift, he is getting older. He is not the same running back he used to be. We can attack him on defense. And then offensively, Caleb still has tendencies that makes him questionable at times. We can put pressure on him. I think there's a real chance, but we have to survive the onslaught because he's really good at the beginning of games. We have to be on our P's and Q's on that. If we can attack him on the P's and Q's, then we should be okay. But we have to make sure that we cannot let the lead get ahead of us too early on in the beginning of the game because they are really good at their scripted plays at the beginning of the game. That being said, wide receiver and tight ends skill positions, they're going to be a problem, especially the tight ends, because I don't know if you guys realize this, but we have not schemed well against tight ends so far this year. Okay, it just has not happened. So we need to make a statement. Cole Kmet, Colston Loveland, we cannot let those guys get off. Okay, simple as that. I expect Trey Amos to have another good game against. I'm assuming he's going to go up against Aroma Doomsday, but it could be DJ Moore. Whoever's Marshawn Lattimore is covering, like, I need you to do more. Last game, you only had 1 reception on you for 6 yards. We need more of that. Don't make it look like Adam Peters made a bad call by signing you. You need to do more, okay? You need to be able to take advantage of those matchups, okay? You need to be able to be the shutdown guy that we traded for, last season. It has to happen, okay? Mikey, keep on doing what you do. Safety rooms, Jeremy Reeves. I love the energy. Just got to make sure our fundamentals are a little bit more sound, but love the energy. And then offensively, we just need to be able to run the ball. Ja'Cory needs to have another almost 20-plus touch game. Like, that's the way that I see it. Like, Ja'Cory should be getting close to 100 yards every game. If we can give Bill that, then it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine because it's going to open up the passing lanes for Jaden, okay? With that said, I believe I had the Commanders winning this game. I still do. If I have to give it a score, it's going to be a high scoring affair. I think we're going to win. 32-28. I think it's going to be that. I think it's going to be a closer game this year. Well, I mean, it was a close game last year, but I think it's going to be a high scoring game this year. Remember, this game is in Chicago, so we're going to be doing that. And we're wearing the black uniforms this week, so make sure you represent. Okay, guys, that pretty much wraps it up here. So I'm going to peace out. This is DC Football 1. I'm your host, Lucas. Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow and comment to 14 Rings and NFC East podcast. Until next time, deuces.